we get to the line, and then we start climbing Everest. And it was a full moon. That night was a full moon, and I'll never forget this. It was a full moon, and I usually have a habit of not looking up. I have a habit of not looking at the altimeter or the watch when I'm climbing, or up, because I don't like to get
condescended.
Yeah, I don't like to get like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But it was Everest.
Did you look?
I did. So I looked up.
كان يبشر?
It was the most surreal thing I've ever seen.
What the hell did you see?
The mountain is so high and big. Of course, you can't see the peak, but it's night, it's hazy, a little bit of the light of the moon on my left. You see the trail of lights ahead of you, the teams that went ahead of you. So you can see what is human, so you can see the lights. But at some point, it's so far up, and the cloud is clear, the sky is clear, I couldn't differentiate between the headlamps and the stars. I couldn't. That's how high that thing was.
That's
I
crazy.
couldn't, like, I could see, you could see it moving, and then at some point it's as if they became stars, because that's how tiny they become. Like, it's crazy, right? And then slowly, as we started,
You're painting the picture really well.
it's incredible. It's, and I no matter how much I try to, convey, it was surreal. It was surreal. So seeing that, and then slowly as the night progressed, the moon started to climb. So we're climbing, and you could see the moon
Illuminating what's in front of
crazy. You could see it like on my left.
Wow.
Because you're so high, and it's because of the angle, I think.
Yeah. It's below you.
It looked you could see it. It's as if you could almost walk to it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah. And then here I am, بنت حي روضة, attempting this mountain. Surreal. And then you start to climb. You slowly start to climb. I always take my own pace. I'm always slightly slower than everybody in the beginning, because I believe you should start and finish with the same amount of energy.
It's good advice.
So a lot of people are like, going up.
They probably fizzle out.
Yeah, and I'm chilling. Okay, so this is like 9, 10 at night. You start, hiking, slowly hiking, steeper and steeper and steeper, and like 8, 9 hours later, the sun starts to come up, and that's when it becomes tough. So a lot of people.
Because temperature's changing. With temperature
Temperature's
changes,
changing,
wind, cloud, ice.
Actually, before I got to the summit, before the sun came up, I remember we had a ritual. So when I would sit, he would check me, I would check him, water, snacks and water. He had put a boiling water in a thermos, boiling. Okay. By the time we got like 10 hours or 8 hours later, it was not boiling anymore, in a thermos. And I was so lazy. I was thirsty, and I wanted to drink it, but I was too lazy to because I'm attached to the mountain with the emergency rope. Yeah. I was too lazy to get up, switch to drink it with the wind behind me.
Yeah.
That I tried to drink it with the wind. It was just. It just went.
It did. Oh God. The wind carried that.
Yeah, it just went.
Turned to ice in seconds.
Yeah. So I had to get up and do the thing.
That's so extreme.
It's crazy extreme. He checks me, I checks him. We do our thing. It's like scuba diving, buddies.
Yeah. Hand signals.
Yeah, buddy system, whatever. On one of those stops, he was acting a bit odd. So I was like, "What's up with you?" In my mind.
Did you offer to take his boots?
No, he was acting just a bit too cautious towards me. Okay. And then I realized that he was avoiding. So I was looking around, and then I realized that I think there's a body. That's where the body starts.
First one you saw?
Yeah, first and last.
If you get injured, if someone gets injured and they're, in the last 10%, is there any options for recovery?
What kind of injury?
Like, I don't know, like a knee, for example. You need your knee.
Knee stuff.
Anything above waist.
Mo, you're so exhausted. You can barely carry your own self. I remember my eyelashes were hurting me.
Wow.
I was exhausted. Yeah. Well, I wasn't exhausted, but I ached. I was very lucky. I wasn't exhausted. I ached. Everything ached. So if you are in trouble in a part of the climb that's dangerous, you're going to be left.
So there is no system to send a helicopter for someone with a broken leg.
A helicopter, because of the thinness of the air, can only go past maybe lower upper camp 3.
Just 6,000 meters?
Yeah, below 7, maybe 7.5 max.
After 6, you're open sea.
Maybe 7.5 if there's a crazy,
Okay.
pilot. I think there's only a handful of times, maybe 1 or 2 times, where a helicopter reached the summit, but they stripped it. It had special blades. The pilot went on a diet, I think, to get it.
What was the reason? What?
The air is thin.
What was the occasion for the helicopter going to the peak?
I think an ego run. I don't know. I think he just wanted to say I got.
Probably the Red Bull guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you're on your own. So when I get these messages on Twitter, ليه ما أخذت helicopter? It cracks me up. Like ليه ما أخذت helicopter? So you're pretty much on your own, and guides will try to help you, but they won't put their team at risk.
Okay.
They are responsible for their teammates. So if you pass, and I'll explain to you what happened to me, because I found one that I wanted to help a person. Anyway, so we got to summit, blah blah blah, and we can skip all that. But if you see, so Garrett knows I have a really soft heart, and I wanted to help everybody. On the way down, I kept wanting to help everybody that I thought was tired, and he kept saying no, and he kept saying don't, and then I finally picked one. I picked the tiniest person. It was, I think she was from Asia or something. She was in bad shape, and me and Nurbu helped her down to her guide, and her guide had left her. He just left her. I think he was tired as well. But you really can't, but I was in good shape. So I skipped the part which is really important, the summit. So you're on oxygen, right? You have an oxygen that you're using. I had an oxygen that was spare, and Nurbu had his oxygen and spare, and a spare for me, and there was another oxygen bottle at the ridge for me. Okay, they lock it with a lock, and it's mine in case anything happens, because some people steal. So I had my bottle, one bottle spare in my backpack, bottle spare with Nurbu, and a bottle spare in the ridge. Thank you, Dad, for the extra oxygen bottles. They are really handy. You get to a point, so after the sun comes up, I gain speed. I always gain speed after the sun comes up, because it's my element. I'm comfortable. I don't feel overheated. So I gain speed. I started to pass, because it's considered rude to pass someone incorrectly. So if you want to pass someone slow, you have the right, but safely. I started to pass people, blah, and we get to the beginning of the Hillary step, the famous Hillary step, the same step every single person who has climbed the mountain from that side, including Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, have climbed. And then I got to there.
What's the significance of this step when you get to there? How far are you from summit?
So when you stand at the beginning of the Hillary step, you see the ridge and you see the summit.
Okay.
But it's far.
How far are you talking?
I can't.
Deal in meters, yeah?
You can't say meters, because it's like teeth. It's like jagged teeth.
Okay.
You can't really specify.
Hour?
More.
3, 4.
More. Because you are not climbing on your own, right? You're not like walking. No, you're passing people, and there's a video of me. You have to see this video. There's a video of me. You can take the girl out of Saudi, but you can't take the Saudi out of the girl. So I'm in full summit gear, and it's my turn to climb a very dangerous part where you're literally like hanging, and then it's the abyss. And I was waiting patiently, because the person in front of me kept slipping, and I was worried that this person was going to slip and puncture me. So I waited for this person to pass. I can't remember if it was male or female. As I was waiting, this guy passes my Sherpa, and tries to pass me. My Sherpa has a GoPro, and I have a GoPro. So he perfectly captured, and I'm completely dressed in my summit gear, with goggles and everything. You can't tell who it is, but the mannerisms, this guy, I was like, in Saudi, the Saudi just
like, what are you thinking? What are you doing here?
Like, you could clearly see that this person, this person's from the Middle East, because I was so angry at this guy so I told him, you go back, I did my thing. We climbed. We got there. One of my favorite memories is I showed my parents the summit moment I got to the summit.
Can I say this part? Because I've been dying to share something with you that stayed with me the moment I saw it.
Aww.
So I could see that just years of frustration, of work, like just work when no one knew you were working, training when no one knew you were working, burning the midnight oil. Starting at Kilimanjaro, then going to your second and third and fourth Elbrus, Melbrus, wherever you went, and then you got to Everest, and the moment you got to the peak, the summit, I don't know who filmed you, but you pulled out your Saudi flag and then you said, "This is for Raha Moharrak," and I was like,
oh my god,
that
was Denali though. That was my 7th.
That was Denali?
Yeah, that was my 7th.
I thought it was
that
Everest.
Was my 7th.
It definitely looked like Everest
because
at the
it
top.
was emotional. Yeah, I'll talk to you about Denali. That was the most emotional time I've ever been on the mountain. That summit, and I'll explain to you. So, Denali is my monster. Denali was my monster because the first time I attempted it for many reasons. Long story, we shouldn't get into it. I couldn't finish. So the second time I got to Denali, it was a battle. It took me a long time to get the courage to go back to Denali. And my dad wasn't feeling well at the time. Alhamdulillah, he's much better now, but he was going through a lot. And as soon as I got there, so I was anchor. So I was the last person in both lines, which is a very good position to be. It means you're a strong climber. So I was anchor, which means I'm last. So I could see my teammates slowly getting to the summit, and then when it was my turn, they were clanging their axe, and saying 7, 7. People from all over the world.
Wow.
The emotions just got to me.
7 in response to the 7th
It was my 7th summit, yeah. And I got to Denali and I pulled the flag out like Mo said. Wow. And I'm not the crybaby emotional type at all. And you know me.
You are. I've seen you in movies.
No, I've never cried in movies.
I'm messing with you.
No, actually, I'm not. There's like a handful of triggers that make me cry. That's it. These 4 or 5 things. That's it. And I don't cry outside that. But this was just an emotional like.
Yeah, you were bawling.
Yeah, and I took out the flag and I'm like, this is for my dad and my mom. I think I said something like for everyone that knew I was insane but still loved me anyway.
Yeah, that was the line.
Crazy. I had no, it was not.
It just came to you.
It
was so unreherarsed.
I was خلاص. Emotionally خلاص. Everything was just like and that was the 7th summit, right? It was a dream after years and years of fighting and hard work and pain and missed weddings, missed events, and like.
So if we were to compare now Denali and Everest, you stressed that Everest was not the hardest.
I can't say it was the hardest. I can't say إنه كان أصعب واحد صراحة.
It's crazy how ignorant even I am, because like when you don't know anything about anything, like we just assume that Everest is the hardest. Yeah. Nobody wants to climb any other mountain in the world than Everest.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate point on anyone's bucket list to get to Everest.
It's like everything in life. If it's a known name, people want it.
Yeah.
Got to base. As soon as I got to base, I have my traditional thing I do. I won't mention the brand, but I have a fizzy pop drink that's my favorite after each mountain. So the Sherpas came and were giving me a fizzy pop. Most of the Westerners had beer, but in my case, they got me with. It was so cute. Everybody they had like a beer.
Dr. Pepper?
No, it's not Dr. Pepper. Everybody had like what do you call it? A cooler for the beer, and then they came with my fizzy pop drink, and they're like, "Here you go!" And they knew that it was so cute of the Sherpa.
That's amazing.
Because they asked me, and I didn't know why they were asking me. Anyway, so I got my traditional thing. Got to base camp, and then Raha, they're like, "Everybody's looking for you, Raha." Everybody, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure my parents are going crazy." They're like, "No, CNN." So it's just like, I'm like, "This is the comms tent, the main communication tent." I'm like, "Come on!" Like, I was just like. I thought he was kidding, right? So I went in and I asked for food. I went in and I was like gorging myself with like a burger and fries, really starving. And then suddenly the comms guy comes in. He's like, Raha, you're on CNN. And like, and he was screaming. And I literally grabbed like a handful of fries and I was eating the fries as I was going to the comms tent. They sat me down and I was literally like, just had finished like fries. And then, you can hear the CNN song in the background because I can only see the interview. I couldn't see what people see on TV.
They can see you though.
Of course.
Okay.
And whoever's watching can see the whole graphics of Saudi women. I just saw this one person. I'm like, I'm so happy. It's surreal.
So this was like an hour after you
No, this was like a full day after.
Full day after. News got back to Saudi that the first Saudi female had summited Everest.
Yeah.
The youngest Arab.
Yeah, because the team called monkeys. The team was like, oh my God, we're so excited. We have this girl on our team. And they did it on my behalf. I didn't know. Of course, as I was stuffing my face with the burger, I called my family and I told them the news. It was really hilarious, like the phone call with my family. I called, Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, I made it. And you can hear in the background, like everybody just screaming, And my mom's like, how are her fingers? In the background, like, does she have everything? It's the cutest thing, like Zaharit, and like everybody's like, It was so cool.
They must have been on
It was amazing. Everybody was on edge. And then my sister called me, my brother called. It was such a beautiful moment. And then that's when it hit me, when they were like, CNN's looking for you. I was like, why?
Did you anticipate fame?
No.
You didn't think it'll make a...
It makes me laugh when people say she did it for the fame. Listen, everybody. If I knew that when I got to the Kathmandu airport in a Winnet, do you ever see that video? Hilarious. I come out of a Winnet with my backpack.
Which is the pickup.
Which is an ugly pickup. Like not ugly, just not a fancy pickup.
So the word is derived from 1.8 liter engine.
If you don't know.
Us in Saudi have abbreviated it to a Winnet, and that's how we refer to a pickup truck.
And it's an actual Winnet. If you see the video, it's hilarious. And I show up, and then there's cameras everywhere. I looked like crap. I hadn't showered and I don't know how long. I was exhausted. I was tired. But basically,
you looked like you needed a shower.
So, like I needed more than that. And everyone was like, yeah, she did it for the fame. And I'm like, no. Trust me.
There are quicker ways to get famous.
Yeah. Then
one that doesn't involve being on a month for 2 months.
Being on a mountain for 2 months. And anyway, so I got back, and that's when it started to really hit me, and I was uncomfortable because there's so many people taking. You grew up with me, Mo. I'm not. Mohammed's the
spokesperson.
The spokesperson. Iman's the darling. I'm the I have my close group of friends, but I'm not really like them. I adore how they are, but I'm not the center of attention type of girl.
Yeah.
And people don't believe that when I say that I'm not. I was uncomfortable, like cameras in your face and interviews, and everybody was just like,
it's
uncomfortable. So I did the interviews, I did the thing, and I was complaining. I was sitting down. I finished sitting down after we got to the Yakanieti Hotel, which is like this famous hotel. I met Reinhold Messner as well the same day, legend in the climbing community, and I was really upset. And a friend of mine said, he's like, stop complaining. He's like, you always wanted, because we were there 10 people, 12 people. 3 of us became really close. Unfortunately, we lost touch now, different lives. But he's like, I've heard you talk about how passionate you are about sports and how much you want to change sports in terms of mentality in your country. It's like, you have a chance now. You have a chance to...
You have a platform.
You have a platform. You have something to stand on. He's like, do the best.
That's good advice.
Yeah, and he said that to me. And Martin Greer, he just looked at me. He's like, change it. He's like, And that's when it started to hit me that this is something I can build on.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-time fluke thing where I can just I climbed. It's what people love to talk about because it's an incredible mountain, but it's not my legacy. I have more. I've built more than just Everest.
Yeah, it opened doors as well. I mean,
so many doors.
Brands,
so many doors.
You're a brand ambassador.
Later on.
In
the beginning,
so you climbed in 14.
13.
13. Everest 13.
Yeah, Kili was 12.
Okay, and then I know Tagore. Is that
Tag
how you
Heuer,
pronounce it?
yeah.
You're-
Shout out to my Tag Heuer family,
yeah.
who have been incredible to me over the years. So in the beginning, big brands didn't want to touch me because it was just like, if you were known and not a singer or a makeup artist, as a female, I mean, singer, makeup artist, or an actress, you're a fashion person, right?
Yep.
They didn't have much of an influence as an athlete. It didn't exist much, especially when I started. Now it's changed. So nobody understood or saw the potential, except for a very few brands. And it's all started with Louis Vuitton. Haya Akhtar, if you're listening, Habibti, I miss you. Haya Akhtar suggested me as an individual to be featured in the Louis Vuitton celebration. They had a campaign. They were celebrating, I can't remember how many years, 20 years or something. And I was the personalities that they photographed and put in this exhibition. And that's where my PR career started. I started doing more and more fashion events, because if you are up-and-comer like me, you don't have a budget for PR. You need to piggyback on other brands. So that's what I did. Alhamdulillah, I have amazing friends that suggested me over the years. I wore every single chance I got. I wore Bamba. I wore Bamba every chance I got. And that elevates you, right? And then as I slowly started to build my platform, because ultimately I wanted to be known as an adventure specialist or athlete in the region, right?
Yeah.
And then I got picked up by Lipton, which changed the game.
Number one tea in the region.
Yeah. Lipton is in every Saudi house, pretty much. Let's say.
Is it in the West? I haven't seen it in the UK.
It's not. I mean, it's still prevalent in other parts of the world, but it's ingrained in our culture, in our society here. So Lipton made me the face of Lipton green tea, red and green tea, and iced tea.
No.
Yeah, for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
You didn't see any of these ads, because I've seen so many people who are watching the Champions League. Yeah. They're like, "Raha, we're so sick of seeing your face," because it used to continuously come up in the Champions League.
I didn't catch it. I mean, I caught stuff on a local level, like what you did with NBC.
That was later.
Lafat al-Mamlaka.
So before even Lafat al-Mamlaka. So I'm explaining to people how much work gets put into building your profile. So Lipton picked me up, and then right before Lipton, I had met the team from Tag Heuer and built my career with Tag Heuer. In the beginning, I was not signed with them. In the beginning, I was just someone who's collaborating with Tag Heuer. Yeah. But we built a relationship and an amazing chemistry, me and the Tag Heuer team, that the head of the team, she's amazing, her name is Anne-Claire, she convinced headquarters to shoot a clip with me, to convince headquarters to sign me, because they were like, Saudi girl climbing.
German company?
Yeah, Swiss. Yeah. She's like, they're like, we don't see it. She's like, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Relevant.
Well, we flew to Switzerland for 3 or 4 days, shot the whole thing. Wow. It's one of my favorite projects I've ever done. Sent it to Switzerland, and then I got signed.
Amazing.
It's incredible. That's like awesome. Walking into the office in Switzerland, and then seeing Cristiano Ronaldo, seeing Patrick Dempsey, Chris Hemsworth, and me, like, because they have all of their ambassadors.
Come on.
From all around the world.
Flattering.
Incredible. They have a very famous Russian like street artists. They have DJs. They have right now they have the Tag Heuer Porsche team as well in FE. They have Andre Lotterer.
Just to see your picture up there.
To see my picture up there, like this girl from Hayy Rawda from Jeddah, and I was just like, it's surreal to be able to follow your passion to where you've always
get there. Yeah.
I've always you've known me for like how long? 15. I've always more. 16.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, I am a Jama. Like it's been 16, 17 years now.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be an adventure athlete. This is the thing I've always wanted to do. I've always been creative. I never imagined that my passion for that would lead me to the career, because slowly brands started to book me, and I started to do more speaking events. I started to do this and that and that and that. And then suddenly one day NBC came knocking, and they're like, we want...
Nobody could have foresaw this climbing mountains would open such doors where you're now a public figure, where you feature
in
a show
in what
about
I wanted, which is adventure.
In an area that you enjoy, being adventurous.
Adventure, travel.
It's everything. It is. I mean, there's nothing more adventurous than mountaineering.
Yeah.
You know.
But because I have an experience in mountaineering and I have an experience in other stuff, like I'm a dive master, I horseback ride, because of these things, it opened the door for me to be a spokesperson for the region.
Yeah.
In terms of adventure, and for women to realize that you can have a career in TV and in sports that isn't necessarily fashion or a singer or an actress. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean, listen, you became a household name the moment you finished. And I remember a tweet from 3 years ago, on the cusp or on the verge of when women were allowed to start driving. Walid bin Talal sent a tweet saying, I don't know what the name of the pilot was. So it's called, even like, Rima has flown a plane. Someone else has done this. Raha has climbed Everest. When are females going to drive cars? And I was like, for Walid, to refer to our Raha,
I'm honored.
You know, as I mean, if she did that, I was
it's time.
You know, it's time.
It's an incredible, Mo. Like, I still don't grasp it completely. Like. Walking around, people recognize me. I went to pick up my new ID with a mask on, and sunglasses.
No way he recognized you.
She recognized. So I went...
From the picture on the computer?
No. I went and said, excuse me, Assalamu alaikum, where do I go to pick up my ID? And she said, desk number 4. And she said, Raha Moharrak.
No way.
I swear to God.
Face mask and glasses?
I'm like, how did you know? She's like, your voice.
She must be a stalker.
She said, your voice. Iman, my sister, was ordering a cake.
Your voice, okay, I can buy that.
It has a specific tone.
Yeah,
I guess.
No, it's unique.
And maybe not in a good way, but anyway, like I talk fast. Anyway, my sister was ordering a cake, and the driver gave the phone to the lady so that my sister talked to her. And my sister Iman did the order, and then when she hung up, the lady said to the driver, "Is this Raha Moharrak?"
Wow, that's
my
so
sister. It's an honor. I have people sending me videos of the people watching the show. Mo has sent me cute videos of your son watching and you watching. Yeah. It's incredible. I was on a shoot last year. This story gives me goosebumps, and if I never get any compliment about my show or the work I've done, I'm happy because of this guy. This guy came up to me and says he was part of the crew. We shot. I was doing a campaign. This guy, very politely, Saudi guy, came up to me and said, Raha, I don't know you. You don't know me. I know you. I watch your show. I'm very sorry to ask for this, but do you mind if you can just speak to my mom on the phone for 2 minutes? Just quick, daqiqtain. I'm like,
you would though. I mean,
I would.
You absolutely
would. I would.
Yeah.
Listen what he said. He's like, she is blind. And she watches your show. And because you're so expressive and your tone of voice, she loves watching that show. And I just want her to know that I met you.
Wow.
So I picked up the phone.
It's touching.
Yeah. I said, hi, assalamu alaikum. As soon as I said that, I said the first sentence. She's like, Raha Moharrak. Like,
that's everything, isn't it?
Like,
that's everything. Yeah. That's full circle.
She's blind. She doesn't see, and she watches. She listens to the show.
Yeah.
And it took a long time more for me to get here. It took a long time for women in general to get to this point where we are recognized as we can be anything we want.
Yeah.
And now it's become more and more, what's the word? Acceptable, and there are more options, and there are more and more girls in sports. There are more and more fathers being understanding and mothers being understanding.
If your father let you, say we lived in 2000, okay, your father said, okay, you can go climb Everest, climb anything you want, all right, you can climb the one in Mars if you want.
And that's something I want to do.
I bet it is. We'll get into that if we have time. Coming back, having done all that, you might not have gotten, the government or the country or just the acceptability on a social level as you. So you kind of climbed it at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You finished it, and now you can parade it. You can celebrate it, and you'll have people in the country that'll celebrate it with you.
Someone once told I agree. Someone once told me, like, you climbed it in the right time because you fought to climb it, and then you were celebrated after you climbed it, isn't it?
You wouldn't have been celebrated in 2000.
No, and it would have meant not so much in 10 years.
Yeah. Did the government get behind you? Any initiatives here to?
It was, of course, I think like everything, it needed a little bit of time and a little bit of like understanding. But yes, obviously, in the end, I did get the recognition. I did get it. It wasn't, I have to say, it wasn't as immediate as my other climbing peers, because I can understand it was a new thing. In the end, I did get it, and now it's been a few years. I still get invited to represent and to you know.
On a high level.
On a high level, I'm a Special Olympics ambassador.
Yeah.
I walked out on the first line of the Special Olympics twice with the Saudi flag.
Yeah.
It's an incredible...
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's an honor.
It is groundbreaking.
It's an honor to be able to live my life how I imagined it to be, experience and practice my passion, and also be able to change mentalities and change views. And I'm not just talking about views internally, I'm talking about international views, because every time this comes up to people, whether I'm sitting down with friends in Madrid and they love to show off that, you know, my history, and you have people on the other side of the table being like, Saudi Arabia climber, what? Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, stop messing around with us.
Yeah, they don't, it's kind of like surprising, but I love that. I love being
changing the narrative.
Changing the narrative. I call it killing the stereotype.
Yeah.
I love that. I also love that a young girl now in this era, this generation who's coming after us, does not need to fight the battles I fought.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to start from -10.
That was your famous line, you know, you're happy that you're the first as long as you're not the last. And you're seeing that you're not the last because girls are following your footsteps.
Of course. Shout out to Muna Shahab, Habibti. She climbed last year, an incredible...
Everest?
Yes.
Really? No way.
An incredible human being, an incredible person. She climbed it last year. Yeah.
You inspired someone that didn't.
I didn't inspire Muna. Muna did it on her own. Habibti, I love you. She's my mountain sister. Muna, that's all you. I can't take credit for that. But it means that me and her will not be the last. And come on, my co-host from Lafat al-Mamlaka, I call him my TV brother, Saoud al-Aidi as well. Climbed it last year. There was a bunch of last year we had an incredible amount of Arabs climbing Everest, and that's how it should be. It should be so many people that you can't count them on one hand. I think we've come a long way, Mo. We've come a long way. The amount of options and mashallah, it's incredible. We have a climbing club. We have a growing community of girls. I get messages all the time from people saying, look at my daughter does this, look at my daughter does that. She wants to be this, she wants to be that. So I think we are like full speed ahead.
And there's investment infrastructurally in areas like Taif and Abha, where if you want to pursue your passion being mountaineering or climbing or whatever, you can do that.
We have a gem of a typographic country.
It's being exercised.
A gem.
Yeah.
Shooting Lafat al-Mamlaka. I did.
You saw, which I mean, in English, you spun around the country.
Yeah, so basically it's a show called Lafat al-Mamlaka, which means around the kingdom. I did 2 years ago, I did a test for, I think NBC was trying to figure out if a girl can do it. So I did a 5 or 6 episode test, and then I got hired to be one of the main hosts last year. So it was 2 months of going around Saudi, experiencing it as basically a tourist. I've never seen that side of Saudi. We have unbelievable untapped potential that is being tapped in now.
The geology of it,
the topographic beauty, the landscape, the variety of the different types of rock, the different types of canyoning, and it's
lake, sea, snow,
incredible. We don't have lake. We don't have like a actual. We have lakes, but we don't have like running rivers.
An actual
we have lakes, but we don't have. Us and most of the Gulf don't have rivers, so we don't have like running. But we have beautiful lake locations, and a pristine, beautiful, like waiting to be discovered. Just like a treasure trove of location. Every time I post about it, my international friends, whether they're climbers, divers, pros are all like, where is this?
Yeah, can we come?
Oh, they're all like, this is an incredible, and now, mashallah, with all of the activities that they're doing and highlighting Saudi as a location, I think it's going to
And the
change.
Ministry of Tourism have like invited some of the best drone flyers in
It's
the world.
incredible.
And just to get that perspective of drones from Madain Saleh or up further towards Tabuk.
Beautiful.
There's some
a few years ago, they did from Suda. They invited
Yeah.
all of the base jumpers.
base jumpers. Yeah.
Suda, they invited them. I think, and so on and so forth. It's just going to continue.
I mean, sky's the limit
so
now
much
for us.
potential. So much.
Sky's the limit now for us because there is a belief that we have underutilized the gift of our country, which is the size of maybe 3 Texases.
It's massive.
All right. What do Saudis do when summertime comes?
Yeah.
They get on a plane and they go. We never gave it a chance.
Yeah, it's
Now,
changed.
because of Corona, everyone's stuck here. People have discovered, including me, I've gone to areas that I've never been to before.
Yeah, I saw your post recently.
Yeah, I was in, where was it? Just outside of Taif. But anyway, something that's gorgeous. I mean, they don't see a day over 29, 28 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Whereby in Jeddah, it's about 45 degrees. So,
But I think it's how can I say this? Because it's come from all directions, so it's come from the top down.
from the top, yeah.
And also because of the situation that's happened, it's come from all directions, and because people are, we are going through a difficult financial time, and is going to really help improve the infrastructure that that's needed for these areas to be more and more.
And it was time to open up for tourists.
Yeah.
You know, people come from all over.
One of the episodes, I don't know if you saw it, one of the episodes, I invited my best friend Maria. And she was my host. So the show, I would go around Saudi and I would invite international guests to see the city I'm in, right? One of the episodes, which is Al-Ula, I invited Maria, my best friend from Spain, who I've been dying for her to come see it. And just to have that, to experience Al-Ula with her, oh my God. I've experienced Spain. I've been all over Spain. She was so happy. And she went back and told everybody, I went to Saudi Arabia with my sister, with mi hermana. And, she is an ambassador now. She talks about the people and she says
and it changed her perception of
perception.
Saudi.
So many
I'm sure
people.
she had a completely different impression of Saudi before she came.
She's my bestie, so she obviously had a good idea about it, but she didn't imagine it would be that beautiful.
Yeah.
And she didn't imagine the people would be this nice.
Okay.
And I think this is a thing that I get on my social media. Every time I log into social media, I get some weird questions about the region, and I accept all questions that come from a place of curiosity, but there are some questions that come from a place of ignorance, and those are the ones that need fixing. So there's a lot of questions that come up, and I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah. So I've got about maybe 15 or 20 minutes left, and I want to get through some questions with you. Okay, I want to give people the opportunity to get to know you better.
Oh my God.
All right. So I'm going to fire away some questions at you. And
I'm nervous.
You
nervous.
you have to answer. Okay. I don't want you getting out of anything. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To manifest any superpower I want.
Ooh, she's special. This one. Recent show you binged on?
We're in a pandemic, so me and my family were being socially responsible. So pretty much, Netflix.
Pardon the plug. Dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, very hard. I can't.
It's a good question.
It's a good one. It's a good. There's so many incredible people. It's really, really hard because there are characters that you read their story, or you hear about them, and then they touch something in you that changed something in yourself. I have many of those. I can't pick.
You can't pinpoint anyone?
I can't pinpoint anyone. It's
what's that? Amelia Earhart?
Well, I would love to know what happened to her.
I hope I pronounced it right. Oh God, she didn't end too well. She
Amelia
disappeared.
Earhart disappeared.
Yeah, she went in the balloon.
Not balloon.
Airplane.
Yeah. I think it was a Cessna. I can't remember.
In case you're wondering, mine would be Denzel Washington.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have dinner with him.
Yeah. It's really hard for me. It's really hard. Well, I would. Can I play the? Okay, I have a crush. I won't say who he is. I have a celebrity crush that I've had for years, and I'm pretty sure me and him would hit it off. Because
Ooh.
I'll tell you off air.
on.
No.
I want the scoop.
So embarrassing.
Okay, let's
What
go.
if I meet him and then he sees this?
How about you meet him because of this?
No, it's so embarrassing. I picked up first of all, I've crushed on this guy for years. I was sitting down waiting for an appointment. I picked up a magazine. I was reading interview he did. We were reading the same book in the same time.
Wow.
And he had a parrot.
Like the one, okay, you're into, you have a
I
few
love,
parrots,
yeah, I have a parrot. I love my, plus I've always been crushing. So I would have dinner with him.
Okay.
Do not ask me who he is. Off air.
God. Actor, yeah?
Actor, yes. My brother and sister are going to be laughing because they know.
Is he single?
I hope so. I hope so.
So you're telling me there's a
I
chance?
hope so.
Okay, the question here, but I think I know the answer to it. A moment you'll never forget. Summit Everest?
You would think.
Or is it just way too shallow and
You would
obvious?
think.
Okay.
You would think. It's Everest. Denali is pretty up there.
Okay.
Finishing Denali is pretty up there. But this is going to sound like a broken record because I always say this because it is one of the most incredible moments of my life. And it's not on a mountain. It's not in a very special place. It was in Jeddah airport when I came back from Everest. You know those typical airport doors?
Yeah.
Typical ones.
Yeah.
The moment they opened and I saw my mom and my
family
dad's
That
face.
was the best moment of your life.
That was,
Yeah.
I think, I was so nervous because I got so much hate on social media. My phone exploded when I was in Nepal and I was trying to manage my emotions and I was really worried about everybody's reaction and my dad's reaction, and I was really nervous because and I got lots of
a lot going on.
and I didn't want to shame them.
Fair enough.
All I could thinking about is shaming my family,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, how is this gonna go down?
So coming back to
I
them,
landed, coming back then the door opened and he would,
that was the finish line.
yeah, I couldn't, no, it was a new trophy altogether. It was, I have eight summits that I've climbed. Seven of them you can see and touch. One that is in me, which is being able to live the life I wanted and win my parents over and get them on my side.
On board,
They joined me in my madness. I mean, till this day, my brother and sister think I'm insane, and I love them for.
I'm in that group.
Yeah. I love you guys anyway. Everyone has a point of view. One of my aunts still thinks I'm nuts, but they love me anyway, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
My dad once saw a video of me freezing, like shaking. He looked at it and then he looked at me. He said, I don't understand why you do this to yourself, but I understand that this is what you want to do. And
it's accepting.
Yeah, and they will never understand. Sometimes you will never understand what your loved one does, but
I'll take that into consideration.
Acceptance.
When my son is older and wants to do something, I'm gonna remember Uncle Hussein Moharrak.
Yeah.
How he's like, I don't know why you do it, but okay, I'll support
accept
you.
This is what you want.
But
My mom and my dad, haram. Like I could see in their face, I couldn't see a single line of, anger or frustration or shame. Nothing.
Yeah.
They were
you
just.
came out on top. Like
they were
it wasn't shameful. It actually the opposite happened.
They were two proud parents.
You put Jeddah on the map. You put your family's name on the map.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Raha,
that moment is so special.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. You should be proud of yourself every day.
Thank you.
This one's slightly deeper. If you could change one thing about the world. We can come back to it at the end, okay?
There are typical answers to that where, you eradicate, let's say, hunger or eradicate disease, but then you're going to have other problems like overpopulation. I would say that a man would also bear a child. So if a man and a woman are together and they are husband and wife, our reproductive system
alternate.
Yes.
So like
you do not know who would be the one that gets the child, because I think if that happens,
wow, you watch way too much science fiction.
Of course I do. I'm a geek. But that would people will be more careful with kids.
Probably.
They will have less kids.
Yep.
People be more responsible, less population. Go ahead.
Especially in our region, men just want to have as many kids as possible, but I don't think they stop, pause, and think, what am I asking of my female partner?
And can I take care of them? And do I have the means to take care of them? And so I think that if I had a magic wand that could do that, then there's no such thing as when the mom gives birth.
Yeah.
I think that will take away shame.
Yeah.
That will take away sexism, a lot of sexism.
Yeah.
Because we will be.
It'll close a lot of doors.
I will close a lot of problems that I think are can be
Very
fixed.
good one.
Yeah, and I think it will equally divide the pressure of the social, socially acceptance of a lot of things. Yeah. Both of them can work, but one can have a kid. One, we have a lot of
people will be more cautious.
Yeah. A lot of people will be more cautious, and a lot of, I think it will give more. You're going to have more more estrogen as well, so it will change your dynamic. Yeah. We'll still be man and woman, right? We will be equal, but not the same. Yeah. Yeah. That's very important for people to understand. I'm not saying that we should be the same. We are equal. Yet we are not the same. So I think if men had one chance of having kids, a little bit different.
What advice are you glad you never listened to? Don't climb a mountain.
No, I mean I got that, but I think deeper. I've been told many times that I should not show who I truly am. I should change, or I should cap, or I should cloak who I am. And Mo will tell you, like, from the first we've met 15 years ago. The first time he met me, I think he said, "Oh my God, me not."
Who's this nutcase?
Who's this nutcase?
In the nicest way.
Yeah, but genuine nutcase. Yeah, genuine.
Good nutcase, because I'm that as well.
Yeah,
so.
and we all are. But I think we get a lot of pressure as women to fit in a specific box. Yeah. So I've heard a lot.
Be that. You are to be this.
Don't be too loud. Yeah. Don't be too opinionated. Don't be too this. As soon as someone says to me, "Don't be too something," I'm like watch me. I would never say that, because I'm not really a potty mouth like that. No. Oh, I will fight tooth and nail.
Good.
I do not like this idea that you have to, for you to fit as a perfect Saudi girl.
May you be an example for all the girls growing up right now.
And thank you, and it means a lot to me, because I feel like I fight every day, Mo. I fight every day on social media to not have the button nose that everybody has, to not have the straight hair that is the standard, to not have the big puffy lips that is from Dr. Joseph or whatever. I fight every day to not fit the standard that people put on as a beauty standard, or as a what a female is. So the best advice I ignored is when I was told many times, "Oh, you have to straighten your hair, or you have to do this, or you have to do that, or you're too loud, or too opinion, or." That's the best thing I ignored, because no one should dictate who you are and how you are.
Absolutely.
Respect yourself, respect others, and be the best original. Don't be a cheap copy of someone else. Be the best original, best version of yourself, you. Yeah.
Fly or drive?
Fly or drive? Fly.
Day or night?
Day.
Call or text?
Meet.
Book or movie?
Ooh, tough. Either or.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Feared or loved?
Loved.
Heels or flats?
If I'm hard. I have schizophrenia with this, because I love being like boy, like.
I need you quicker.
Oh my God, I can't.
Heels or flats?
Barefoot.
Beach or mountain? Pardon the pun. And I know how much you love beaches.
It's really, I love the beach. Beach.
Denali or Everest?
Everest.
Mount Everest, Mo Islam.
Oh my God, that's you can't. No, you can't. That's a curveball.
I had to throw that one at you.
You can't. Mo, I can't.
It reminds me of the episode in Friends when Joey's like, so I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and then whatever you say is the one that's the right one.
And he wants to know.
And then the new one, the right one comes out. Thought you were like Mo Islam. Oh my God, no, Mo's gonna come.
No, it's really hard. I mean,
so Mo Moharrak is her brother.
Is my brother, and they're both like my brothers.
Pizza, pasta.
Mo, you're killing me. Pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah.
House music or hip hop?
Hip hop.
City or suburbs?
Beach. Whatever's near the beach.
New York or London?
It's tough because Iman, you wouldn't believe this,
these are
but
tough for you.
tough one. London.
Jeddah or Dubai?
Oh, Mo, you're killing me.
Okay, I'll spare you on that one. Pancakes or waffles?
Neither.
Go out or Apple TV and chill? I'm an Apple TV guy.
I like both. It depends on the mood. Depends. It's really hard, Mo.
Last one. 90s or modern day?
90s.
100%. Let's wrap up. A note to 10-year-old Raha. Buy the boots.
Start.
What if you wanted to start earlier?
Yeah, start earlier. Learn to let go faster. Not everybody that criticizes you is your enemy. Because I have that tendency of feeling like whenever, because I'm so used to always fighting. Someone said that to me. He's like, you carry your armor you've been carrying your armor for so long, you don't know how to put them down and just be, I've had to fight to be who I am for a long time. So I would tell her not everybody is an enemy. Wear sunblock. That's a good one because I was...
With all the beach volleyball.
Yeah. Naughty with that. Never ever let anyone tell you what you cannot achieve. Never. And no matter what, your family, your parents, and the family that you choose are not even the ones that are your blood family, are always the most important treasure you have on your health. Everything else can go. Money goes, your youth, your career, everything. Family, even your health sometimes. The thing that stays are those around you, those who really love you. So cherish that. And I would tell her, live bigger. I've lived an amazing life, but I would tell her to even try to outdo your own dreams. Try to live afraid of your dreams. I always tell people this: if you're not afraid, that's a very famous saying. If you're not afraid of your dreams, they're not big enough.
That's such a big statement.
You need to have a drive. And the last thing I have lots to tell myself when I was younger. The last thing I tell her is, failure is a rite of passage, not the end. If you fail, you get up and try again. There's no shame in failing. The only shame is in giving up. I would rather, and that's the reason why I went back to Denali. I would rather live with a failed attempt than give up. 10 failed attempts than one give up. Because that's the type of person I chose to be. So yeah.
Well, honestly, thank you so much for coming.
I mean, Mo, I have to say, guys, really, I loved this. Besides the fact that I have a special place in my heart for Mo and his family. What you're doing is amazing. I think true voices are hard to find. In a sea of fake, in a sea of silly, it's so nice to have a refreshing point of view of our culture. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Well, thank you so much. I don't take it lightly at all, Raha. You're an inspiration.
It's been
You're an inspiration
fun.
to me. Honestly, you're an inspiration to me that you did something that many people said, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" You're an inspiration to people in this country, younger girls especially growing up. If I have a 3-year-old now, and I'm going to tell him stories about you.
Aww.
And here is something that someone told this lady not to do something because her ideas were crazy. So it's going to change. It didn't fit, the norms and how people are accustomed to carry themselves in this country. Yeah. But no idea or dream should be too big, for you to write off. Who are you to write off a dream? So if my son wants to, play for Chelsea Football Club, I'm going to give him the tools he needs to one day get there. Yeah. I will not write him off of that dream. So that's why when I say it's an inspiration, I'm not just saying it because that's what people say. I actually mean it when I say it. And that's proof that you are my inspiration because it changed the way my mind worked in dealing with my son growing up.
Thank you.
So thank you for, taking time out of your day.
Pleasure.
I don't know what's next for you, but I know we're going to be hearing from you, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be on CNN.
I don't know. I just go with my what I feel.
Yeah.
And just a lot of people live passionless. So I live with passion, and you've known me for so long, and I hope I haven't changed. I hope I never change.
No, you have not changed at all.
I hope I never change.
Nothing, not even a wrinkle. And honestly, Raha, like whatever you're doing, it's working. So just understand, that you're on the right track, and you have been on the right track.
Means a lot.
For over a decade now.
And also, I want to say that thank you, Mo, and guys listening, international listeners, come visit us. Experience what it is to be in Saudi. Let us change your point of view.
Yeah. Come make your own judgment.
Come make your own judgment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're really proud of where we've reached. So please come and have a look. And
great words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, this
Thanks,
is fun.
Raha. I love you. You're the best.
Love you too, Mo.
And inshallah, we'll have you on again soon. All right.
Inshallah.
Love you lots. Checking out.